All right, so here's my story from the 2011 Austin AVIA Triathlon. I did the sprint distance this year. I did the Olympic last year, so I thought to myself, well, this won't be, that big of a deal. I've already been there and done that. I've done basically a twice as long distance, but I didn't train as much this year, so I didn't want to put myself through the whole, distance. And I thought, well, with sprint, I could probably get higher up the leaderboard, and I did. But there's a story behind it. Okay, so I was about 1 minute away from getting into the water, and I have had this pair of goggles for the last 2 years, and I bought it out of a package, so I didn't try it on, and it hurt my nose. So I put a little tear in it and said, as long as it holds together for a couple more swims, I'll go buy a new pair of goggles. Well, after I put the tear in it, it became like the most comfortable pair of goggles I ever had. I never had any issues with it, and for over 2 years, that tear never got any bigger. So I thought there was like a wire inside of the silicone or something that held it together. So don't you know that with a minute to go before I get in the water today, they just go bink and just snap right on my face and fall down the side of my head and just kind of hang, off of my swim cap. And we got 60 seconds before it's time to get in the water. So I ran to try to find my girlfriend. She had gone over to the other side of the swim exit to try to see me get out and, snap a picture or whatever. I was too embarrassed to kind of yell out and try to find her. So I just went down and thought, well, maybe somebody coming out of the water dropped their goggles. And just in a second, I acted on it and I ran over and said, hey, did anybody find my goggles? I dropped a pair of goggles. Like somebody would really come back from the transition area for a pair of goggles during a race. But, there was a nice lady there. She found a pair of goggles on the ground and she was holding them and she tossed them over to me. And I just stuck them right on my face and just went, and they fit good. They're comfortable. They didn't fog up, and no water got inside of them. And I had a great swim, which for me, if during a race I could do a 2 minute 100 meter, pace, that's fine with me. That's as fast as I swim, and I did that. I came out of the water in 14 minutes. Then I went and checked my results, and what had happened was when I went over to grab the goggles off of whichever stranger had lost them and whichever stranger threw them to me, I accidentally tripped the sensors for the swim exit, even though I hadn't even started yet. So what happened was I ended up with a 10-minute finishing time for the swim, knocking me down about 4 minutes overall, which put me in front of a lot of people that were faster than I was. So I did the right thing. If anybody wants to claim their goggles, I'll give their goggles back. But in the meantime, all I could do is email the chip time people and say, hey, you got to add 4 minutes to my time because I didn't swim that fast. So males 25 to 29, or just all sprint finishers in general who were way up the leaderboard, you might get one more spot than you even thought because I did not swim that fast. So that's my story. Second triathlon, made a first triathlon mistake, but that's how you learn. So my bib was 2357. My bib number was 2357. If you look it up, and I should be at an hour and 29. If I'm still at an hour and 25, you could take me out and just put yourself one higher because that's where you belong. Good job. See you next year.